I wanted to quiz you on like MasterChef
Okay.
things, but I don't. I was like, I don't even know what to ask.
Okay. I mean, spitball.
Runner up season 3.
Oh, he died. Josh Marks. You chose the one runner-up who died.
This is why I knew I shouldn't have played this game. Hey everyone, I'm Derrick Fox and you're watching A Bunch of Losers. Fred is my guest today for MasterChef Season 10. We talk about all things MasterChef, test his MC knowledge and his palate, and being back to win on MasterChef Season 12. We also discuss working at Milk Bar, his family leaving Taiwan, and starting over in America, and so much more. I even get emotional in this one, so yes, there are some tears. Let's go, loser. For everyone that's just tuning in, Fred's doing some stuff with Facebook. Freaking dope. How did they reach out to you?
So I was a part of like a group called Subtle Asian Baking, and for AAPI Awareness Month, they needed a bunch of people from Subtle Asian Trades, Subtle Asian Cooking, and Subtle Asian Baking to just do content for the month of AAPI Awareness Month, which is May.
Oh.
So they reached out to Subtle Asian Baking first. Subtle Asian Baking reached out to me, and then I got looped into it, and I was like, sure. I know that Sue from season 11 is actually a part of it too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like she's representing for Subtle Asian Cooking.
Amazing. I want to get Sue on here. We've talked. We're just trying to line up the day. Pull the microphone a little bit closer to you.
Okay.
You can yeah, perfect. What is Subtle Asian Baking?
Subtle Asian Baking is like a Facebook group just for Asian bakers around the world, and they just post like Asian related baking like recipes and stuff like that. So I've been a part of that group since 2020 during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've just been like helping out with them whenever they need me for like specific events or like fundraisers and stuff like that. So
what's so subtle about it?
Just subtle Asian people. Asian culture subtle.
It's just because you guys are so humble. You're like, we're just gonna make this very subtle.
I mean, subtle Asian is apparently a thing. I don't know. I feel like I'm less subtle than most Asians, but that's just my opinion.
I love it. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll learn some shit. You know,
I mean, they have some really like talented and creative bakers on there. Like we have a lot of really interesting recipes every single time. Lots of different like Asian flavors and ingredients. Like I learn a lot from them.
Speaking of baking,
yes.
Brian, come on, I had this planned out.
Okay, sorry.
The producers are like, "Oh, cookie needs to be on the table." I had this planned out. Speaking of baking, I started a cookie company.
I heard, and I saw.
So I brought this for you, but you have to win it.
Okay.
Since the podcast is called A Bunch of Losers with Derrick Fox, we're going to play a game in a little bit, and you have to win it.
Okay.
But I'll probably give it to you anyway.
Thank
you. Of
you.
course I'm going to give it to you. But anyway, I'm going to set this up here.
Nice.
This is your epic mega cookie. We'll talk about that. Okay, cat's out of the bag. We are back to win. Yeah. When did they contact you?
I got reached out to, I think, the Monday after 4th of July.
Okay.
Yeah, so like they sent me an email first, and then I knew the casting guy already because, fun fact, I actually auditioned for seasons 8, 9, and then got on 10.
Wow,
So,
really?
Yeah, I don't know how many, like I don't think a lot of people actually know that. Like I auditioned for 3 straight seasons in a row. But yeah, like I knew the guy's name is Pedro, so he reached out to me. I was like, oh, I know this guy.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to go. Okay, let's go. Let's go back to season 8.
Yes, let's go back to season 8. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like the crazy ex who just never would leave you alone. Yeah, so I was a student in Boston, like in college, when season 8 was doing casting, and it was the first time they ever did casting in Boston. So I was like, this is a sign.
Hi,
Maybe
everyone. Fred talks a million miles an hour. You haven't met him yet. Hold on. What? Okay, you're a student in Boston.
Yes. First, like right after season 7 aired, season 8 was casting.
Okay, what school were you going to?
Boston University.
Jesus, we got a smart one here, people.
I don't know about that. My major was nonsense. It was hospitality. I don't think that. Yeah, it was. But anyways,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Autumn's from Boston.
Oh yeah, she is.
Anyway, have you guys talked at all?
Mm-mm.
She's hilarious. Oh my God, I had her on.
Oh, nice. I've heard like mostly positive things. Like she's chill. She's very down to earth.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
She's a homie now. I want to hang out with her all the time. I wish I because she's making $1 million freaking dollars on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I wish I had $1 million so I could go hang out with her.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so season 7 ended. You're in Boston. Season 8, you're like, were auditions in Boston?
Yeah, like they were doing like open casting in Boston. So then,
How'd you find out about the casting?
well, I mean, I was a fan of MasterChef since like season 2, so like I had been watching. I never really thought about applying.
Fred, you're more than a fan. You know everything.
Super fan, yeah.
You're the president of the super fan
Oh
club.
God, I need to like replace all that gray matter with other things now that I'm done with.
I know. You know some shit. I could be like, who cut their finger on episode 6 of season 5? It might be a little specific, but you have that kind of knowledge. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop interrupting.
No
you.
worries.
Okay. So how did you find out about the casting?
I think it was like Facebook, and then a lot of my friends knew I like to cook and bake, so they were like, "You should try out." And I was like, "Sure." I mean, it's local to me for once, so I tried out.
Just practical.
Yeah, I mean, I was just
subtly available.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually just like a 2-minute walk away from me, so I was like, "Why not?" So yeah, I tried out for that one. Ironically, and this actually,
what did you cook to try out with?
I did a ginger blueberry mousse with black sesame shortbread crumble, puff black rice, a honey tangerine curd, and microgreens.
I'm just deadpanning at the camera right now because you're insane.
I don't know about that. I mean, it kind of looked weird when I like think back to how I
You probably could have held the microgreens. I mean, like I feel like there's a time and place for microgreens on a dessert, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, in this case, I specifically went with like micro mint, just because like I felt like that would pair well with the ginger.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're a genius when it comes to food. You're one of those like savants.
I don't know about that. I don't think so.
I've watched you work, dude.
I know you watched me work. You've seen some of my not so good moments.
No,
too.
I watched you like destroy us, and no one even knew how bad you were destroying us.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so when you presented this dessert season 8,
yeah,
how did they respond?
They liked the dessert, but then I don't know.
With those flavor combinations season 8, I don't know how you weren't on the show.
Well, there's a lot of different factors for sure that I like realized really quickly on.
Okay, like what?
So they wanted me to play like a very certain cast type for that season because they're like college student from Boston who's from like from a private school, so he's probably from like privilege. So they wanted me to play like that role of like the privileged college student. And they also wanted me to be bitchy, which I kind of didn't really want to do. So they literally told me, be bitchy. We want to see clips of you like being the villain. And I was like, I'm not stupid.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, we want to see clips of you complaining. We want to see clips of you like talking shit about your classmates. And I was like, what? Yeah, they straight up told me this.
Oh my god.
So I sent them clips of me baking cupcakes and hanging out with my friends and like running. And I think I was like a video clip of me petting a dog. So obviously they didn't cast me because I straight up refused. And I know that they were going to do this to me because they had a guy on that season who was a Harvard student who they made look like a complete asshole. So, and he was my age and everything. So I was like, okay, dodged a bullet there.
Dodged a bullet. So that didn't deter you though when you auditioned for season 9.
Yeah. So what happened was season 9, I graduated college. I was starting a new job in LA. I kind of hated the job I was in. And
where were you working?
A hotel in Inglewood. That's all I'll say. I don't want to say specifics. A hotel in Inglewood.
Holiday Inn.
Okay, nicer than that. Way nicer than that. But it was in the hood, yes. But yeah, so I just wasn't really happy with it. So, and you know, they always cast in LA anyways. Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm in LA now, so might as well give it a shot. Oh, fun fact, for season 8, the guy standing right next to me, Daniel, he ended up getting on the show and getting an apron and everything. And
I went to the casting at LA for season 8.
Oh, this is for season 8. Season 8 I was in Boston.
Season 9.
I think when I was there, it was Brian O'Brien. He was our guest speaker.
Oh, I probably came earlier. Or maybe, actually, you know what? That was one season I missed.
Oh, okay.
Brian O'Brien?
Yeah, Brian O'Brien was the guest speaker when I was there, which, again, full circle because back to win.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, but season 8, the guy next to me, Daniel, he got on the show. He was actually on our cast for Back to Win as well. So that was like kind of trippy when I met him again. I was like, wait.
Oh yeah, Daniel.
From season 8, the puppy Afro guy.
Oh yeah.
So he was right next to me. And then I think we touched base like a little over a year ago about that, or 2 years ago. Cause I was like, hey, do you remember the guy next to you who made the blueberry mousse? Yeah, that was me.
Wait, in season 9, you made the same thing again?
Oh no, for season 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Season 9 though. So I auditioned again. I was just like, you know what? I'm just not going to be like, I'm not going to give him the chance to make me bitchy. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be very pleasant, and that cupcake dog petting energy, I'm just going to come with only that. And, you know, not talk about being from a privileged college or whatever. So I like purposely tried to dial those aspects of myself back. And what was it? I think it was because
What did you audition with?
Oh god, this one was this was so extra. I did not need to do what I did.
Ready? Here comes.
It's an essay.
An essay.
Like
exactly.
a 12 component fucking dessert. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so fennel pollen mousse with a butterfly pea glaze, fennel chips, fennel fronds, clumpy fennel, blood orange curd, coconut snow, coconut yogurt mousse spear, blood orange veil, blood orange yogurt in the middle of this mousse spear. And I made it inspired by my Californian half and my Boston half coming together. I think I called it the Tale of Two Princesses because I had just come out of the closet like a year ago, and I was like, let's embrace being gay.
Wow.
It was a really intense dessert. It sounded like a lot, but ultimately boils down to coconut, fennel, and blood orange. So when those three flavors are together, it actually does work. It's not like a lot of extraness. It's just those three flavors.
I love that. I think honestly, and like I did a cookie for spring. It was Fruity Pebbles, marshmallow, and lemongrass.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of getting my Wiley Dufresne on.
I love it.
And everyone was like, lemongrass. And some people got it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I truly believe like on the back of the Fruity Pebbles box, when it says natural flavors, that they're actually using lemongrass. Cause I taste lemongrass when I eat Fruity Pebbles. I love Fruity Pebbles, but I was like, I'm going to enhance that. I'm going to put a lot of lemongrass in this. I think that's the thing with all flavors. There is a balance. And if you achieve that balance, that's part of being the creator, the artist of being a chef. If you're going to manage that balance, you can make anything really work. Mm-hmm. There's some things that don't, but like for the most part. So like, yeah, fennel, blood orange, like what else did you have?
Coconut.
Yeah, that can go together. Wild. So you're like, okay, I'm out of the closet and I'm giving all of it into this dessert.
Literally all of it. I spent 2 freaking days dehydrating fennel to make chips out of it.
Right. So they're looking at that. So if you're doing a technique like that takes 2 days, you can't do that on the show.
Yeah, but so I mean, it was more just because
just a flex,
and just to show like I'm really pushing hardcore for this. Fun fact about season 9, the guy standing next to me, Ralph, got on that season. Yeah, this happened to me twice. I was actually pretty pissed off about it. Well, Ralph and I are friends, Daniel and I are friends. I'm not mad about them getting on. I'm just mad that it happened to me twice. Yeah, if you ask Ralph about it, though, like Ralph still remembers the dessert I made because he was like, what the fuck, bro?
I would be intimidated as fuck.
He was like, how did you not get casted? I was like, oh yeah. And the reason why I think I didn't get casted for season 9, though, was because it was the same producers as season 8. And they probably like if they were to somehow remember me, they'd probably be like, "Oh, he's that kid who like purposely didn't do what we told him to do. He's not a puppet that we can manipulate."
Yeah.
So I think they shut me down pretty hard, pretty quickly. Like I did get to talk to the producers again because I'm sure it was like the same with you, where you make a dish in 3 minutes and then you talk to the producers, and if they like you, you go on. Season 8, I did the go on part. Season 9, they cut me then and there, and I was like, "Wow, okay."
Wow.
So they liked the dish, but the producers like just didn't want to talk to me.
My audition process was so different.
Really?
Yeah. So I was for season 6. Mm-hmm. I had watched seasons 1 through 5. Mm-hmm. Huge fan. I loved season 1, and when Whitney won, that was
Whitney.
That one was like, that was really truly, I think, the best season. I mean,
it's the OGs.
Yeah, but even because it was, everything just felt so organic. Like they weren't trying to make, and not that MasterChef's trying to make TV, but it's like the challenges weren't like, oh, we're cooking for 100 Navy soldiers today, and they're coming off this boat, and Gordon Ramsay's jumping out of a helicopter.
Exactly.
Like it wasn't that. It was like, we need the best apple pie, and Whitney delivered. You know what I mean? So obviously the evolution of the shows that happens. We want to see Gordon jump out of the helicopter. I don't know why, but we do. But my audition, I had just gotten let go from a job, but I was also playing drums full time. I was on salary with a pop group, which was nice. Like, it was like everything I lived for. It was like I worked so hard to be a drummer
in LA and to be on a salary. Like there's not a lot of drummers in the world that are on salary. And then to be like making it in LA, and the group I was with, they weren't getting along.
Oh.
And that's the hard part about being a drummer is like I'm always the supporting member.
Yeah.
You know?
You're the backbone.
Yeah. I'm the backbone. I'm the heartbeat. But at the end of the day, like I'm not the face of the band. I mean, Travis Barker is an anomaly, you know. Dave Grohl, even as we know him from Nirvana, but he's more known as the singer of the Foo Fighters, you know? So it's like really hard for a drummer. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I need to make some cash. I'm going to apply to Chopped.
I love it.
So naive. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I cook at home. I'm going to try and get on Chopped. But I've also watched every episode of Chopped. Like, I literally put myself through cooking school watching, just dissecting these cooking shows and listening to the judges. Because at the end of the day, like, the stuff that the judges are saying is real.
Exactly.
You know, like, they're telling you what to do with the food. Do that. Great. Okay. I can figure that out. And I was like, I'm going to go win 10 grand on Chopped. I'm going to go, like, propose to my girlfriend, like win enough money to buy a ring. I applied, crickets. And I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I've seen every episode of MasterChef. I love Gordon Ramsay. I should apply for MasterChef. So I apply to MasterChef. I send the email. I send like a photo of me playing drums, a photo of a scallop dish, and like a headshot that like I had because from when I was trying to book commercials, was laying around. I send off this email. I go into the kitchen. I make some coffee. I walk out to the patio. I'm sitting on the patio. I'm like, well, I don't have any money, but I'm going to enjoy this patio. Drinking coffee and my phone rings. It was that quick. 20 minutes later.
Really?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
Ned called me. He was like, we love your bio. We love your story. He's like, we want to talk to you. We want to get you a VIP audition. And
nice.
In LA. I was like, cool, VIP, sweet. What does that mean? He's like, you get to skip the line. I was like, oh, okay. Dude, this LA audition, there was so many people.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Was it at the Lowe's Hollywood for you too? Yeah. That was for seasons 9 and 10 for me as well.
It's the only one that they can do that's big enough that's a central location in LA.
What's crazy is actually for season 11, they switched it. So they made it at the Holiday Inn in Burbank instead.
Right, because season 11 wasn't getting the same pool of contestants. They've gone through everybody in LA.
Basically.
Yeah, because the girl next to me in my season 6 audition, I told Dara this. She made a tuna fish sandwich and served it with a Bud Light margarita for her audition to make it onto MasterChef. And she believed it was the best tuna fish sandwich in the world and that it absolutely had to go with this Bud Light margarita.
I was about to drink water and then I knew I was going to do a spit take, so I stopped myself there. What the? Oh my God.
And then the guy next to me, I'll never forget him because he plated and cooked beautifully. He did this venison.
Oh, nice. Okay.
On this, it was like a coffee rubbed venison on this puree. And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But he had no personality. No personality.
I mean, I can see how that could screw you in the long run for that sort of thing because been there twice.
You have to have both. I mean, you have to have personality and you have to be able to cook if you want to make it far.
Exactly.
So I went, I skipped the line, I did the audition. I took my food because they tell you temperature doesn't matter. But I tried to keep my food warm.
Okay. Yeah.
And it overcooked my scallops.
Oh no.
No. And they came out like, oh my God, they looked steamed, like little wet balls of cotton is what they looked like. It was so bad. So I just pulled out my phone. I was like, I made this dish last night. This is what it looked like. I was like, I tried to keep it warm. This is fucked. And they brought me through and I just kept doing each round. I had to go into a room and they're like, name 5 varietals of apples. And I was like, and then they'd ask me about my mom and I would cry. And then they were like, oh, he's the emotional one. Let's get him. God, back to when I cry a lot.
I mean, it was emotional for you. There's a lot at stake.
Yeah. I mean, it is very emotional being back to win because I feel like, I mean, we all feel like it's our story, right? Like it's all our shot But there's just something about being back to win, like, because every day, I mean, I could show you my inbox. I could show you every day. There's not a day that goes by that there will be a comment somewhere, and then it's like the day that it doesn't happen on social media, it happens in public. I'll be in a grocery store and they'll be like, "Hey, bro, you should have won," and I'm like, I can't hear this every day for the rest of my life.
Oh my! I mean, I didn't get you should have won. I cried when you got sent home every single day for like 2 years, and I was like, cool. I don't.
Yeah, you don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, like I'm sorry. Like
Right.
I like feel better.
Right.
Here's sugar. I don't know what to here's sugar. I don't know. Here's chocolate. It makes people happier. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I totally get it though. Like the constant commenting, and it's just like it never ends.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, I don't know a lot about you, about like your personal life. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
when we met, it was at Back to Win. I stopped watching MasterChef after my season because it was like trauma. I couldn't watch it.
It makes sense.
I tried. The first thing I tried watching was MasterChef Juniors because that was what was airing after I got back. I put on the first episode and I was just a wreck. And I was like, I can't do this. So, I mean, I know that we both drive Teslas. You and Bree are besties and you can fucking cook. Like, that's all I know about you. Like, so tell me about like childhood Fred. Like, where did you grow up? You know, what is your household like? Do you have siblings or do you have parents that are together? Like, what's the home life like?
So I was born in Taipei, Taiwan, and then when I was 1, we moved over to Torrance, California, where I spent probably like 15 years of my life.
Wow.
Why?
Hold on. Why did you move?
Oh, there was some family drama with that. Basically, my dad and his brother like owned a company in Taiwan together.
Okay.
And my uncle got arrested in China. So my dad spent like 2 years trying to bail my uncle out. And as a thank you to that, my uncle promoted my other uncle instead of my dad.
That's not really a thank you.
Yeah, I know, right? So because of that, my dad was like, well, screw this. I'm going to open a company in America. Like, bye-bye. So then we moved to America so my parents could start their own American dream, which is a company, which is what they established. Spent like 12 years like of my life anyways, like back and forth with Taiwan and America just to establish like contact with vendors and stuff like that. I have an older sister, by the way. Like I'm just throwing that out there because you asked about siblings.
Yeah.
My family's pretty ordinary, two parent household, 2 child household.
Okay.
I grew up in the suburbs for basically my entire life. What was it? California was kind of like interesting since I lived in Torrance, which was on the more conservative side. If you were not white, Korean, or Christian or heterosexual, you did not fit in.
Wow.
I was none of those things, so I definitely did not fit in at all. That was very challenging. Like I'd get a lot of unkind comments about my skin tone from all the non-Asians, and then my fellow Asians wouldn't even accept me because I was not Korean or Japanese.
So not only are you dealing with just traditional racism, but you're also dealing with like, I mean, what is that called? Like,
I wouldn't even know.
Inner Asian racism. Like, I don't know the term for it.
It was like a very uncomfortable thing for sure. Cause like, I just wasn't in the majority, you know, like all these kids would be speaking to each other in Korean or talking about church. And I'd be like, I can't relate.
Yeah.
So it was, it was fairly challenging until I think like probably like my last year in high school. That's when, you know, people started to get more mature and they stopped caring so much about how like those sorts of things.
Yeah. Cause life in high school, when you're a senior, you're like, oh shit, life's about to get real.
Exactly. So priorities change, you know, like, and I feel like that's when my social life started to get a bit more normal. But then I went to school in Boston because I was like, I'm sick of Torrance. I don't want to deal with Torrance anymore. Yeah. So moved to Boston, for school, majored in hospitality. I wanted to actually be a pastry chef, like straight going into college. But my parents were like, get a 4-year degree first, and then we'll talk about like culinary school or something like that. So
what did you think? Hold on. What did you think about that kind of pressure from your family? Like,
I mean, it could have been worse. Like I've had friends who straight up said, if they didn't get into law school or like business school, they were getting disowned. So like I didn't have to deal with that level. It was just my parents were like, just get a 4-year degree just so that way if anything happens, you can fall back on it. But sure. In retrospect, it's fairly fair, I'd say. I mean, if they're willing to like support me on it.
My parents wanted, I'll say this first. My parents were like, chase whatever dream you want. But they were like, you need a backup plan.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone that I can name that I look up to that is successful didn't have a backup plan. And at the time, it was like Travis Barker. I was like, Travis Barker was a trash man, and he was about to take a raise at a trash company, and then he had a choice to either do that or play in a band, and he chose the band, and now look at him. I was like, I don't want a backup plan. I couldn't, and then my mom was always very tight with money, so I was scared to even ask my mom for the money to apply to a college. I was like, wait a minute, I got to send them money to send an application?
Yep.
That didn't make sense to me.
Oh, no, it doesn't. I mean, colleges leech a lot of money, but all you really get from it is just a network and a diploma that people look at when you apply for a job, and they're like, oh,
right,
you're not stupid. We'll hire you.
Right. Well, and I proved, I went the long route, but I was like, you don't have to go to college to prove that you're not stupid. But I was like, I was just like, this is a scam. I cannot give you money to apply. But I did miss out on the network because my buddy went to Pepperdine.
Yeah.
And, he had a different growing up than I did. But we were friends. I had a lot of wealthy friends when I was young. And it was just like rubbed in my face. This is what you could have. I'm like, okay, I'll work hard for it. But I would go party with him at Pepperdine.
Nice.
And then I would see this network, and I would just wear a Pepperdine shirt, and I just pretended like I went there.
Smart.
I love it. I would go to all these, and then before we go into the party, I'd be like, yo, what classes did you have today, and what are your teachers' names? And he was like, what? And I was like, just tell me your teacher's names. I was like, so if I have to have a conversation with a girl, I can at least sound like I go here.
Oh my God, catfishing before catfishing was a thing.
Bro, I've done it all. So hold on. Okay. The business that your parents had in Taiwan, was it your parents' business or your dad's business?
It was my dad and my uncle's business in Taiwan, and then it became just my parents' business when we moved to America because they opened their own company.
Can you say what it is? Or
it was called ABA Cables, but then so actually this is something that led into my season 10 audition. So between my season 8, 9, and 10 auditions, my uncle kept harassing my parents into selling the company to him. Like, he would send people from Taiwan to sneak into their warehouse and like go through their paperwork and stuff and steal vendors. It was all kinds of messed up. And he had been doing that for years, but like it just came to a head around, I want to say 2008, a year after I graduated college. And because of that, my parents were like, screw it, we're just going to sell it to him. So then they sold the company to him, and that kind of played into how I like pitched myself for season 10, because I talked about how we came to America, uprooted our lives from Taiwan. I endured a childhood of racism that I didn't technically have to endure.
Right. Because you wouldn't endure that in
because everyone there is at least Taiwanese. So.
Right.
Yeah. So I have my entire life changed because of this company, which was supposed to be our family's American dream. And then we kind of lost it because our uncle took it from us.
Wow.
So I talked about that and how this is my chance to make my own American dream and, take my future into my hands for once and do something with it, which was opening a bakery with my parents to replace the company that they sold off.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Is that still the dream?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it still is. I'm saving money for it, where I can. I'm just trying my best to be very careful at spending and investing so that way I can fund it on my own.
Yeah.
I technically could reach out to people for that money, but
you don't want to be strapped to them.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to put that burden on anyone besides myself if it fails,
I admire that. But so there's two things, because I got told early on in business, if you're going to open a company, don't use your own money.
Yeah. Well, there is that too,
and that was from someone very, very successful. And I was like, okay, well, so I'm going to use other people's money, but what happens when it fails? So they're like, well, you have an LLC, so the LLC is liable, not you. They can't come get all your shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay. But then there's something to be said if you truly believe in yourself, which I know your stuff's amazing, so you're good. Once you do it with your own money, you're going to be getting 100% of the profit. And look, I'm doing the same thing with the cookie. I've managed to get myself into a situation where I'm making the dream salary.
Nice.
I have the dream job. And now I'm like, okay, I'm going to invest in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used my own paychecks to make this cookie company come to life. And I've actually thought of you quite a bit while doing this. I'm like, I wonder if Fred would be interested in like helping out ever, coming up with some flavors or doing a collaboration.
Oh, sure. I would actually. I mean, at Milk Bar, literally what I was brought on to do there was research and development for like new flavor ideas. So,
well, we're skipping ahead. Let's talk about Milk Bar.
Oh my gosh.
Post MasterChef.
Yes. Okay, so season 10 wrapped up. My elimination was aired. Milk Bar was.
Hold on. What did you get? Remind us all what you got eliminated on.
Fuck.
I'm making you relive your trauma real quick.
Thank you. What was it? So the challenge was a mystery box, but it was different than others mystery boxes where it's like you can select one of the items, not all of them. They're like, no, you have to use all of them. Mm-hmm. So under the mystery box, filet mignon, langoustines, black truffle, and you had to make a dish with all three of those things in 45 minutes, which
easy.
Maybe for you. For me, I was just because my cooking style, it's very unilateral. Like I like to take one item and focus on it. Like we had a king crab challenge. And like
you want to do like king crab 17 ways.
Yeah, like I did king crab 17 ways and that works for me. But then with this, it's like, where do you focus? Do you go off of the dollar value? Do you go off of the biggest thing in the box, which is the fillet? Like
you overthought it.
Yeah, I had no idea which way to go. So like I focused.
With those ingredients, you go simple.
Yeah, and I did not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my literal thought process was, well, the langoustines are a lot smaller than the fillet, so why don't I do something to beef up the langoustines to make it the fillets equal? So like I made noodles and like did like a truffle sauce with that and the langoustines to act as like the garnish to the steak, because surf turf, pasta. Surf turf pasta works as like the typical starch. And also I knew everyone else was doing puree. So I was like, I kind of don't want to do a puree if everyone else is going to do one.
Right. That's the thing about That's the thing about Back to Win.
Mm-hmm.
And also like season 6 is not only are we competing with ourselves.
Yeah.
We're competing with the challenge, but then we're looking around and we're like, I don't want to do the same thing as somebody else.
Exactly.
I want to be completely outside the box.
Yeah. So like I did the noodles. And then what happened was basically like I focused a lot on the noodles. I lost track of how long the steak was in the pan for. So like I felt it and I was like, okay, this is kind of rare, but carryover cooking maybe, but it was literally on the cusp of blue and rare. So it didn't carry over cook into like medium rare at all. And I knew this because 3 seconds left on the clock. I grabbed the fillet, put it onto the plate and I was like, oh, that's soft. That's really soft.
Oh boy.
So I remember telling Bree and Sherry from my season off camera right before I got judged. I was like, I think my steak's raw, you guys. And then surely enough, they cut into it. They say it's raw. I was like, God damn it. Why am I right? I don't want to be right now. So yeah, they sent me home. And then on my way out, Gordon was like, I'm going to hook you up with Christina Tosi, like see like if we can get a job for you there. So I think around the time we filmed the finale, because we filmed our finale really late. Like we filmed it in July. Like of the same summer that the season was airing.
Oh, right, because season 10 had the break.
Yeah, we had like a 3-month break between when the final 3 was decided and when the finale was
because
filmed.
Of COVID.
No. This was a year before COVID.
Oh.
I don't know why we did that. I think it was because the setup for the finale, like all those bleachers and stuff, it was too annoying to set it up twice. So they decided instead of setting it up for us, dismantling it, filming the junior season, then setting it up again, that they were going to film the entire junior season first, then film the finales together. Because season 8 of Juniors filmed the same year we filmed,
wow.
Which is actually the season that's airing right now, or at the time of us filming this. But yeah, so
interesting.
We had like a long gap. Yeah, so around the finale is when I got contacted about Milk Bar, though.
Amazing. And how did you feel about it? Were you like pumped? Or were you like...
I was. As soon as they eliminated me and told me about Milk Bar, I was like, I can go now. I don't need to be here. Why am I here? Like.
So then when they called you and you're like, where did you work for Milk Bar? Was it
LA?
In LA?
Yeah, because they have a West Hollywood location. Yeah, so I worked there.
Tiny.
It's tiny, but the team's really like fun. Everyone was just like super supportive. I have like fond memories of blasting Juice by Miso and twerking while like frosting cakes.
You were twerking.
Did you not know I twerk?
No, they made Big Willie twerk on the show.
I know, they wouldn't let me twerk at all because of Big Willie.
So annoying.
He took my twerk thunder, just kidding.
I don't need to see your twerk thunder.
It's okay. I don't see my own twerk thunder unless I have like 3 shots of tequila, so no one's going to see it.
We got one right here.
Well, Bring on 2 more, and then I can traumatize your podcast listeners. Oh my God, the thumbnail for like this podcast will just be me on the table.
Oh my God, we should have you send us a video of you twerking, and we'll make that the thumbnail for the photo. Oh my God. Okay, so you met Bree.
Yep.
Tell me how you met Bree, because you guys are buddies. So I show up to Back to Win, and Michael whispers to me, "They're best friends. They're inseparable."
Yep.
I'm like, there's nothing impossible in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen. If he wants to separate them, he will.
Well, I mean, what was
so
it?
how did you guys meet, and like where does this bond come from? Because you guys really are like inseparable. I almost wanted to fly her out and surprise you with her and do a double. I just couldn't pull it together.
It's okay. I mean,
Speaking of, here's Bree. No, I'm kidding.
I feel like, what? You would have had me like speechless. I would have just been like, oh my God. Oh yeah. So let's see. Where did it? What's funny is we weren't friends right away, actually. So season 10, they started with, I'm pretty sure you guys had the same thing where they started with like a much bigger group and then they narrowed it down before like the TV stage started.
Yeah. We had 100 backstage.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We had 80. So top 80 first week, I barely saw Bree at all, but then I was friends with her roommate at the time because we all had roommates and stuff. So like,
right.
Her roommate was from like a neighboring city to me. So like I was like, you're my neighbor, like we should be friends. And then Bree's roommate didn't get on, but Bree did. And so like I talked with Bree just via her roommate at that point. But then me and Bree ended up in the same grouping for Audition. So for season 10, they kind of like chopped it up a lot, but basically they had 4 of us cooking at a time and we'd be judged separately and all that, but we'd still be cooking at a time. And then after we all get our aprons, we'd have to be held in like the storage room together. So me and Bree were in the same group. At that point, I didn't really like interact with her much too at all, but I was like, Bree, we're like the same age. We both love to plate pretty food. We've talked about molecular gastronomy. How are we not friends? So then me and her, so there was like a whole situation. So after you got judged and you got your apron, before the reveals, they put you in a holding room with everyone else in your group. You guys can't talk to each other, but you guys just sit there together. So me and Bree came up with a little code. So this is how we became friends, actually. It was a little code. So there's 3 possible results for the auditions in my season. You could either get the apron, you could not get the apron, or you'll get this little card called the Battle Pass, which means you have to cook against 2 other people for the last apron. So our code was 1 means yes, 2 means no, 3 means Battle Pass card of death. So we had that little code going on. She got judged before I did. So I walked into the holding room after I got my apron and I looked at her and I held up one finger. She held up one. I was like, okay. We're good. Yeah. And then after that, so like that was the start of it. And then I'd say, yeah, after that, we just like, we had a lot in common. Our personalities were like quite similar or quite complementary, not similar at all.
Yeah.
We're polar opposites. I'm the more nervous one. She's the more calm one. But like our personalities meshed really, really well together. We were on literally every single team challenge together.
Now, how did that even happen? Because was there ever a time that you were both not team captain?
Yeah, no, like,
and you got on the same team?
Yeah. So, there was only like really,
I mean, there's only so many challenges.
We did 4 in season 10, one where she was captain and one where we got to choose our own team. So those ones we had perfect control of.
Right. So you ended up on the same team.
Yeah. But then for the other 2, it was completely random, but we lucked out and we're on the same team.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So we like spent like every second of every day in holding together. We were always like conceptualizing dishes, talking about different techniques, just keeping each other sane in like a sea of chaos and craziness and speculation and paranoia that is the holding room at MasterChef, as we all know.
Right.
So
that's actually kind of, see, you kind of lucked out having someone like Bree, because you guys had like you're basically like trauma buddies. You get to navigate together.
Exactly.
Because it's hard, because in competitions, sometimes people don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like this season, this Back to Win, Christian is he's not nice.
He was he definitely kept to himself a lot, but I mean,
he kept to himself, but like we had one bonding moment, and I thought him and I were going to be tight. And I'm like, because to me, Back to Win to me was we're all really good. We're really not competing with each other. I mean, we are, because that's the nature of the show, but
it's not cutthroat, or it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. We're all there just trying to show the world how far we've evolved, how far we've come. And that's how, because like when season 6, I went on, I'm like, I'm not going to be friends with anybody. Like we were talking earlier. I'm not going to be friends with anybody. I'm here to fucking win. And I was like, that was so naive and immature of me. Like I'm coming back this time with like, everyone is great. And I want to know everyone's story. I want to, when we get the opportunity to work together,
Yeah.
And I think that's why Michael and I got along really well. We ended up becoming, I don't know, we kind of kept like our relationship, like our bond kind of quiet because we wouldn't want to tip people off that we were
like working together,
navigating together and coming up with ideas together.
Yeah.
But it helped, that we were talking and we were not necessarily strategizing our cooks, but strategizing our mental game, like our mental awareness and our mental health together.
Yeah.
And that's like an important part. But yeah, Christian was not about that this season. Christian was very like, I don't know. He was the drama.
I mean, I can tell you from being on, like playing 2 different, I guess, social strategies in each season. Season 10, I was friends with everybody, but that backfired on me because whenever my friends got sent home, it just emotionally crushed me. Like, I had a friend, Molly. She ended up having to cook in the battle pass round where it's 3 people for the last apron. She didn't get the apron, by the way. I was like in tears, and I think that was the only time I actually physically produced tears and cried because I can't physically do that normally. I fucked up contacts. It's a whole story, but yeah, like I literally was like crying for like an hour with Molly in the back room because it destroyed me because like we spent so much time coming up with her dish, going step by step. Like, okay, you're gonna use the mandolin for your carrots, for your puree, and also for your pickles, so that way it's one motion for 2 things, like things like that. And she didn't get on, and yeah, she was crying. I was crying. It was a whole mess.
So then what's your strategy with Back to Win?
Back to Win, it was less so like, I mean, I can be friends with them afterwards, but during, it's like, I'll be friendly. I'll be like cordial. I won't be like an asshole by any means, but it's like, I'm not going to like get so emotionally invested in each and every person to the point where when they go home, I'm a like mess of tears.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it's just like,
but that was also hard because we filmed during COVID and like the only like social
was each other. Yeah.
Was each other on the 4th floor in the hallway.
Yep.
On the floor.
Yep. The hallway party. I mean, I had like friends going into it. Like Kate and I had a really good rapport. Samantha, because we worked in Milk Bar together. Like,
oh, that's right.
Well, different stores, but same time. Like she was like literally the first person who reached out to me after that got announced and was like, "You're gonna love it here." So like, and then Gabriel and I had worked together on a few projects. So
what'd you work with Gabriel on?
Imperfect Foods, and then also there's a company he does work with called LoveWorks. It's like a nonprofit for like kids.
Oh, okay.
So like he reached out to me and Sherry for both of those before. So like I worked with Gabriel on 2 projects. I worked with Kate on one project and I'm friends with her. And then Samantha and I were coworkers. Yeah. So like I had friends going into it that like I was like, okay, well, I'll just like situate myself with the people who remind me of like home, so to speak. I tried my best not to just like become so emotionally invested in people this time like I did last time. Like last time I was like, Molly wants to change her life and she wants to, transition out of her miserable corporate job. Like I want to help her at least get that going for herself.
Right.
So like seeing Molly get sent home the way she did was devastating. I had another friend who we were both representing for East Asians because we're like 2 of only few East Asian contestants in our top 40. So it's like, if either of us make it to the end, then that's a win in my books. And then he didn't get on and I was devastated about that. So things like that made me a little bit less wanting to be like that this time around.
Which I think that's smart. I think going into back to win and not being so emotionally invested is smart.
I mean, I'm still friendly with everybody. Like Bree and I were saying though that everyone is super friendly and cool, and outside of that setting, we'll totally like reach out and like keep in touch. Yeah. But it's just in that setting right now. It's like, let's just try to have fun with each and every day. Yeah. But also not try to emotionally invest in everybody so that way when people go home, we don't get sad.
And I notice that now because, I mean, you're so open with me now. I mean, in the last 20 minutes, I've learned so much about you. And in the green room, I was trying to learn about everybody and everyone had their guard up with me. Mm-hmm. And that's because I also heard that someone was going around going, watch out for Derrick. He's masterminding a game. Oh, don't talk to Derrick. Like there were some people saying that. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do any of that.
I mean, in my case, it's like, if you want to do that, cool. If you don't, cool.
Right. It's a game. I can do that if I want, but that's That's not. And like Dara was telling me, she's like, someone told her that, and she was like, well, that's weird because he's like super genuine, and like I was, and now Dara and I like we're both so fucking busy, like we can't line up dinner and hang out, but it's like her, like I would have never. That's also the other thing I love about MasterChef and these kind of shows. I would have never guessed I would be friends with Dara. Like,
no, same,
right? Like I would never. But now I'm like, Dara, let's go ride roller coasters. Let's go she can drink now. Let's go to the bar. Like, let's have fun. That would never happen without MasterChef.
No, for sure. I mean, that's what I told Dara too, was like, if anything, I'm glad I got to go back just because I got to meet you, because her and I are like, I see her as family now.
Yeah.
Like it was funny because we had a moment too where we're just like, we're basically the same person, except I'm 7 years older. But we're basically the same person. Which, I mean, she's so mature, she's so wise for her age.
She is very mature.
Like she's such a kick-ass, like boss-ass bitch. So like I adore her.
So you dropped a little bomb on me. You said when you were auditioning for season 9, that whole dessert was like all about coming out of the closet and just whole new you.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How was that? Like that's something I can't, like I don't have that path in life. But I want to know, like, what was the whole journey?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I kind of confirmed that I was definitely not straight by the time I was like 11. I think puberty kind of just caused me to realize I think it was health class. It was health class in 6th grade. They showed me pictures of vaginas and boobs, and I was like, oh, that's not doing anything for me.
Interesting.
And then that's when I kind of realized, oh, maybe I'm not attracted to women. And I kind of knew it at that point forward.
Yeah.
I was in the closet until I was 21 though, because I wasn't sure how my parents would take it.
Right.
Because we never really discussed it that much. So I was.
Well, and they seem very contemporary. I mean, they're like, we're going to go to America and chase this business dream.
Yeah.
They're a mom and dad. They have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Yep. Like, so that's got to be a lot of pressure.
I mean, it was like, yeah, because like, you know, my dad always talked about like wanting a son that he can play football with. And I was like, oh. Maybe my sister can like beat up boys when we were kids.
Well, you know what? I can share with you. My mom had 3 boys, and she would tell strangers in the grocery stores, because the strangers would be like, oh my gosh, 3 boys. She's like, yeah, I tried 3 times for a girl and all I got was boys. And I'd be like, oh, thanks, mom. Like, you didn't want me?
I had like my mom had a weird pregnancy situation too. So she's gotten pregnant 4 times, right? First time miscarriage, second time my sister, 3rd time miscarriage, 4th time me. So I was like, shit, I almost wasn't born. If any of the other miscarriages came through, I would not have been born.
Wow.
Like, and my mom tells me, oh no, that's not true. I'm like, bullshit, mom. If any of them.
Where's the 3rd kid, mom?
Yeah.
You didn't try for another.
Exactly. So yeah, whenever I think about that, I'm just like, oh my God, I was probably this close to not being born.
Yeah. Do you want to share your story, how you told them?
Oh,
because maybe that might
it's pretty funny.
Help someone else out there get through their situation.
So 2016, Trump gets elected, and obviously the world's in hysteria. Well, half the world's in hysteria.
Wait, hold on. Trump is a part of your coming out story?
In a stance of rebellion, I guess.
Okay.
So
wait, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. Wow.
But yeah, I was 21 when this happened. So 6 years ago.
Trump gets elected.
And, you know, the world's in hysteria. And, you know, growing up, people like Donald Trump were the people who'd pick on me.
Right.
Like, and I was still called homophobic slurs throughout all of high school, even though I was in the closet. Like, that was also a thing on top of everything else. So it just like kind of amounted to a point where I was like, you know what, fuck it. If the president's going to be the type of person who's been fucking me up my whole life, like I might as well just say it. I might as well just put it out there and stand my ground on it and just let it be known, because it's not like my life hasn't been any less horrible without this. So I came out of the closet, probably the most anticlimactic way, like on the phone to my parents, because I was in Boston and they were in California. So I just was like, screw it. So I called them, told them. There was a whole like situation that happened with it, not with my parents, but with my roommate, because I didn't realize he was homophobic.
What?
Something that you probably would want to screen as a gay male before rooming with a guy is that they're not homophobic. But he was very much homophobic, gaslit me. It became a whole situation. I actually needed therapy for like 5 months after that. But yeah, things came to a head. like ironically, you'd think it's the parents or the family that you'd have the drama with, right?
It wasn't. It was
No.
your college roommate.
It was my roommate who was supposed to be my friend.
Well, you don't get to pick your roommates,
No,
right?
we did.
Oh, you did?
For this one, I did choose him as my roommate, and then he still did that to me, and it was just horrible. Like, I basically got gaslit. He spread horrible rumors about me, about saying, like, he only chose me as his roommate because he was into me. I'm like, first of all, no. Secondly, like, what the actual fuck?
That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I know.
He's probably in the closet.
I don't even want to. I'm not going to speculate what's going on with him, but I'm just going to state the facts or what I've experienced. Which in this case, he basically gaslit me, spread horrible rumors about me throughout the Asian American student community in BU. I was like part of like the Taiwanese club at that point, but then I kind of had to like bow out because he just basically made me the epicenter of a lot of drama. I ended up in the hospital at one point, and like my last semester in college, I was in therapy, just trying to learn how to love myself after going through that. It was fairly difficult, but I will say that the last semester I had in college was actually the most fun I had because I moved out. I was on my own as like an openly gay male for the first time in my life. I came into my own. I found new friends who were amazing. Like, I have a lot of hilarious memories of getting drunk on Bollywood night and making naan bread with my knees, like shenanigans like that. So like, my gosh. Yeah, whatever happened from that semester before, complete 180. I built this whole like support group around myself, and that's what made me really gracious about it. Cause it could have been like, basically I did attempt to take my own life because of what happened. I did. Like, I tried to jump in like a negative 50-degree ocean.
What?
Because of just the constant gaslighting, the constant like him telling everyone that I'm some sort of monster. Like, I'd get like dirty looks like when I'd walk through campus, or my friends wouldn't even want to talk to me. And like, I just felt isolated and alone. And I'm glad that I didn't go through with that. And I'm glad that I got the help I needed. I will tell people who are listening, who are afraid to come out, that it might be scary. It might be difficult. You might lose friends in air quotes, but actual support will find its way to you. You also just need to continue to love who you are. So that way, by the time that support comes, you are in a good place to receive it and to be surrounded by people who will actually care about you.
Yeah.
So it was a tough journey for that one period of time. It got better relatively quickly. Like, I graduated college with like a lot of friends who really accepted me for me. I had a boyfriend at one point right after college too, which was my first date with him, even though the relationship didn't really like, it ended and it was like 4 years ago. You know, being able to go on a date with someone and not be afraid that like, oh, they're going to like call us like the F word or whatever. Like, it felt nice to just be on a date with someone and like actually get to sit down and do what normal straight people get to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Fred. I'm glad I asked because I'm glad I got to connect with you on that story. I mean, I'm a little emotional just because, like,
I mean, it was probably one of the hardest things I ever had to go through in my life was dealing with the homophobia specifically because, you know, I spent so much of my life just not being accepted for skin tone or religion, and now like sexuality on top of that. But eventually I found the light at the end of the tunnel, and the fact that I had like so many friends who were like, we don't care that you're gay. We don't care that you're like, you were raised Buddhist / you're agnostic. We don't care that you're Taiwanese. Like, we like you for you. And I was like, this is what it's like to be accepted.
Yes. Sorry.
No worries. I know.
It's a lot, but like, I mean, I got to connect with you and just sharing the MasterChef experience with you is hard. And then knowing that like, that's your story.
I mean, how I see it is that every day I'm living right now, it's doing a favor to the Fred who was being tormented and the Fred that was isolated. It's like, I can look back and be like, I'm glad that you didn't go through with jumping the ocean. I'm glad that you found support and you found love. And, you know, I'm grateful for every day that I have where I can hang out with a friend and I can connect with somebody and not feel afraid about just being me.
And inspiring that other Fred that's out there.
Exactly. So if anyone out there ever feels alone, trust me, there is someone out there who will love you and accept you for who you are. You just have to hang in there and be strong until you find that person or those people.
Yeah, for sure. Well, then let's talk about Buddhist or agnostic. I mean, let's just talk about it all.
Oh, yeah.
Are your parents religious in any kind of way?
My mom and dad are both like not super devout Buddhists, but my mom's more religious in the Buddhism sense than my dad is.
Okay.
It's a really chill religion overall. Like you don't have any obligations. Like you don't have to go to church like every Sunday or anything like that. You just pray when you feel like it.
Yeah.
So it's really lax and, not difficult to practice it. I only kind of stopped practicing religion at the end of high school because my best friends growing up were Mormon. One of them found out that I was gay. And let's just say that I experienced that thing that I told you basically 2 times in my life.
Wow.
Once in high school, once in college. But yeah, after like basically getting verbally attacked by a Mormon person, it kind of just made me realize, well, these people who are super devout to God and love God are using it as an excuse to
hate.
Yeah, like attack me, then what's the point of religion?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I just kind of stepped away from it and stopped practicing Buddhism for that reason alone.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, if it's going to be used in that sense, then I don't want a part of it.
Sure.
But I don't have any hatred towards people who are Buddhist. I mean, it's a beautiful religion. Like being able to sit and meditate, it's not a bad thing. And it works for some people. Just in my case, it just brings up those not so positive memories of being bullied by Mormon people. So.
Sure. Well, and I feel like there's pieces of every religion that are good, and there's things that are not so good, and like I'm not religious in any way. I remember like young wanting to go to church because my cousin went, and then I went and I was like, I don't like being here. Like, this doesn't feel right. And then like my dad, he's technically my stepdad. I've said this before, but he's my dad. He
raised you.
Yeah. And he was raised Catholic, and like my grandmother, his mom, I mean, still very Catholic, and that like he put us when it was like his first dad move. Like when we all started living together, they put us in a Catholic school, and those like the whole like Catholic schoolgirl thing.
Yeah,
it's a real thing. I remember at like 10 years old, this girl, I don't remember her name, but I can still see her. She was so rebellious. She like at 10, she would come to school like with her clothes altered, and like she wouldn't listen, and like the teachers were so mean. They were so mean. I was like, nope, I'm not Catholic either. I'm like, I'm not Christian, I'm not Catholic. Let's try something else. And now I'm at this part of my journey where it's like the universe is what God is. Like people try to say God, like they have to label God, right? They gotta, this is the thing that we're praying to just try to make the linear equation, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it comes from playing music. It's this vibration. And when you're succeeding, you're vibrating at a high level, you can feel it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what this all is for me. It's like this universe is going around, it's spinning. Everything is in perfect time. And when you think about it from like music, like the way the earth is spinning and how it's going around the sun and how the moon is going around us, and how it's like, this is all in perfect sync. And when you figure out your vibration in this universe, then you're in sync, and then your possibilities are endless. And that's how I feel. That's what I believe. And I was talking to somebody about this that's a very practicing Christian. She's like, well, that's God. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. So for you, that feeling, that's God to you, and you put a physical thing to it, maybe, and I'm like, it's the timing of the universe.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that there's definitely a power that is. I don't know what you call it. I mean, I think that the vibrations in the universe does make sense. And how I see it is there's definitely something out there that's causing things to happen the way they are. And, all we can do is just adapt to it or just ride the wave of it. Yeah. Although the Catholic school is funny because my sister went to Catholic school for like 2 years.
Really?
3 years, yeah. When we first moved to America, she went to Catholic school, and then it was a whole situation. They tried to enroll me in it too, but I was a rebellious little shit as a kid. the like main nun, her name was Sister Mary Margaret Cooper. She basically called me the wrong name, and I was like 3, so it's like all I have is my name.
Right.
So then she called me Frank, so I stuck my tongue out at her, and then she yelled at my parents and basically made them donate $3,000 or else they'd expel my sister. So that my parents donated the money, and they still expelled my sister anyways.
What?
Oh, here's where it gets funny, though. So that name, Sister Mary Margaret Cooper, you can Google this. So it turns out 3 years ago, she got arrested because she stole money from the school and used it to gamble. $800,000.
$800,000?
Homegirl had a gambling addiction, and it's like gambling nuns in Torrance. You can look this up.
There's multiple nuns in Torrance that do this?
Her and another lady named Lana Chang, I guess. I don't have any relations to Lana Chang or know anything of her, but yeah, Sister Mary Margaret Cooper. You can look it up. I so that was really funny when I found out about that. I was like, shit, the lady who extorted $3,000 out of my dad got arrested for gambling.
Guys, I'm 10 episodes into this podcast and the shit that we have found out.
Yeah, no, I mean, you should have seen me when I found out, because I found out through a friend who went to that school, and she was like, yeah, she got arrested. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, karma.
Wild. That's wild. My math teacher in high school was a coke dealer.
Oh shit.
And he went down with another math teacher from another school. It was a sister school. And they both got busted because they were selling massive amounts of coke. But I was like, that's the guy you want to be your math teacher. I mean, down to the fucking decimal, he is not going to miss.
No, yeah, because like he literally wants to maximize his profit on his product.
Right.
Oh my God, we're such bad influences. Now people are going to...
But the whole time... And then when he got busted, I looked back, I closed my eyes and I remember that class, and he was always... all fucking class. He was... And now it made so much sense. I was like, he was doing coke the entire fucking time.
My high school economics teacher, she wasn't like dealing drugs, but she had the San Pellegrino bottle that she'd take a swig from every time people acted stupid. So we kind of assumed it was vodka.
Yeah, probably, especially if it wasn't bubbling.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Thieving nuns. Who would have thought that was a topic for this podcast?
That could be a movie. Like,
honestly,
some swindling, gambling nuns.
You want to know how old she was too when they caught her? She was like 80. What? Yeah, she was 80 when she got caught. She did this for 20 years.
Wow. Wait, so she started swindling and gambling in her 60s?
Probably, yeah. Or like late 50s or whatever, yeah.
My dad used to say, if I'm not wealthy, but if I'm not well off by the time I'm in my 70s, I'm robbing banks. And I'm like,
she robbed a bunch of rich Catholic parents of nearly $1 million.
Wow. And she went to jail.
Yeah, she went to jail.
Yeah, she's dying in jail.
Unfortunate. Well, not unfortunately, but yeah. What a way to go out.
I wrote down some dumb questions, so I'm gonna skip those. Back to win.
Yep. Wait, well, how dumb?
Yeah.
Is it like, what's your spirit animal or something like that?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say. Well, okay, let's go. What makes you think you can win MasterChef Back to Win? Because you got to feel like you can win, right? You wouldn't come on if you didn't think you could win, right?
Actually, yeah, I didn't think I was going to win.
You don't think you're going to win?
Yeah, I literally just came back because when I found out that Bree was getting cast, like going through the casting process.
You're like, Bree's going, sign me up.
No, literally, I was just like, you know what? But Bree and I are like bloody busy with our damn personal lives and our work lives and all that. We don't get to see each other that often. So this is a chance for us to like spend a solid month just hanging out together. Because like at that point, it was like a year and like 7 months since we had last seen each other in person because of the pandemic. So I was like, you know what? Let's just use this as an excuse to hang out.
I'm going back trying to set the record straight and win MasterChef. And Fred's just like, I want to hang out with Bree.
Well, because my chances were not high to begin with. I got 10th place.
That is bullshit. You can make amazing shit.
I don't know.
It's going to be a big spoiler when you win. I can't say that. Cut that out. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it in.
No comment.
What'd you audition with this season? What was your audition dish?
For the one that like you had to submit to them, or
yeah,
like
the one you had to submit.
What did I make? Oh yeah.
How many 19 ingredients did you put in?
So this one I featured cherry blossoms, cherries, and ruby chocolate. I called it Fever Dream, but basically it was like cherry blossom gelée, tea smoked cherries, ruby chocolate snow, ruby chocolate, and cherry blossom mousse. And then I did like tempered ruby chocolate rings to like kind of look like clouds almost. I basically wanted it to resemble cherry blossoms in full bloom in Japan because that symbolizes new beginnings.
I don't even deserve to be on this season.
What the fuck? Don't say that. Everyone knew that you were going to be on this season.
Everyone.
I'm pretty sure everyone did.
Everyone knew. Yeah, no. So that actually, so I think they waited to call me because they like knew, like they waited.
Mhm.
All of a sudden my phone starts blowing up.
Wait, what?
I'm getting calls from past contestants. I'm getting DMs from past contestants.
shit.
I'm getting these messages. They're like, "Are you in? Are you in?" And I'm like,
What time did they contact you or what month?
I don't remember. I've been this last couple of years have been wildly
Mhm.
busy for me. So then I got the call and I was like, I'm not saying shit to anybody. I'm gonna show up and be like, I'm fucking here, bitches. and then DeAndre called me. Do you remember DeAndre from season 7?
Yeah, really talented pastry chef now.
He's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I went and got to try some of his food when he was working at Scarpetta.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh my
I've heard really good things about his skill set.
He is so skilled,
Mm-hmm.
undervalued, taken advantage of. I hate it. It pisses me off. I want to get him on here so he can tell some of the stories because I know that he's gone through some shit that's not deserving of his talent. He's insane.
Yeah.
DeAndre calls me. He goes, I already know you've been called. I just want to know if you're going.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said to me.
Wait, and this was before you got called at all?
No, I had been called at this point. He's just like, I know you've been called, so don't lie to me. Are you going? And I said, DeAndre, honestly, the only one I'm worried about is you, so are you going?
Well, wasn't he supposed to be on? I thought he was.
He was.
Yeah, because like, fun fact, and I don't really, this can be cut out, I guess, but because
We're leaving it in.
Oh, well,
No, I don't
fuck.
know. Say it.
Just
No.
kidding. There was like a whole binder with like our names and like pictures of us and everything on it, like that someone in production had. They were carrying it around, and then me, Sam, and Dar kind of stumbled upon it, and we're like flipping through the pages because we didn't know who was here and who wasn't. This was like day 3.
At the hotel. Like,
No, this was on set. Like, but we didn't know who else was there yet because it was like just the time when we were just cooking our dishes or doing interviews. So they brought us out in groups. So I was like, let's see who's here. So then I saw DeAndre's photo and Autumn's photos with X's in front of them. Like, and I knew
because they were potential.
Well, they were supposed to come out. One of the Wranglers told me Autumn was supposed to come out, but then her OnlyFans video of her wearing the apron leaked. And that's like why she got DQ'd literally a day before she was supposed to fly out. And I was like, oh shit. So I knew that happened, but
She told a slightly different story, but that was part of it.
I mean, that's what I was told. I don't know. I mean, she probably knows more because she was affected by it, but that's what I was told about it.
This is going to be the best reality show podcast. We have so many stories. It's just the layers are getting thick. It's a slow start, but man, we are getting there now.
There's going to be a whole ass investigation on why Autumn didn't get on.
Yeah. I mean, she told her story, so.
Yeah.
DeAndre said that it had to do with the amount of time between when he worked for Christina Tosi and when this show was airing. He got DQ'd because of Christina Tosi.
But that makes no sense because me and Samantha both work for Christina Tosi.
The amount of time between, though.
Well, because was he currently working for her?
I think he was currently working for her.
Okay, that makes more sense because me and Sam hadn't been working for her at that point.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because otherwise, like, that would be a dumb reason to DQ anyone because then me and Sam and Gabriel would
Well,
all
and that's what, when I got there and I heard you and Samantha talking about that, I was like, then why the fuck isn't DeAndre here?
Yeah.
He would have spanked us all.
I'm sure of it.
If he just stayed focused.
I mean, just his techniques alone. Like, I've seen his product before, like, when I was in Vegas at one of Sean O'Neill's parties, and I was like, shit, where was this in season 7? You would have destroyed everybody.
Yeah. But that's the difference to outside and on a show.
Yeah.
Like the stuff I can do, like,
I mean, when you have time to actually like develop flavors or even just put in the research into it.
And that was what made this Back to Win extra challenging is they took time away from us.
Mhm.
We had 45-minute rounds
God.
now instead of an hour round.
Mhm.
And we had to plate 3 plates instead of 1 plate.
Yeah.
So really plating takes 9 minutes
Yep.
now. So instead of 3 minutes. So before we had an hour, you take 3 minutes off. We have 57 minutes to cook.
Exactly. And there's also the time that for running to the pantry.
Right. That used to be separate. This
I
time,
know.
a lot of the time, it's a part of it.
For my season, it actually was included.
Okay.
But I know for all the seasons before, like from seasons 9 before, that's how it was. So I was pissed off during season 10 because I was like, why do I have to waste time running to the pantry? It's far.
Right. That was annoying.
Mhm.
And then what I also didn't like about this Back to Win is they took away the Black Apron challenges.
Oh, yeah, because that was your favorite. I remember you telling me.
Favorite.
Like, I still remember our first interaction ever was during the pool party. You told my team, don't be afraid of the black apron.
Yeah.
Ironically, in season 10, I only had to wear it 3 times. I was like,
Oh, right. Oh, I was at the pool party.
Yeah, you told us that.
Yeah, I did.
yeah, you did tell us that. And then again, like, it was just ironic because I remember you telling me this. And then, so I only cooked in 2 black apron challenges to get to top 10.
Amazing.
And then I got sent home like on my first one in top 10. But yeah, it was like super awkward because like, meanwhile, Derrick had to like hustle his ass off. And then in my
I was
case,
in the most Black Apron
you
challenges.
were. I remember that. You said it was your cape. And I was like,
Yeah.
meanwhile, for me, it was like straight up my noose.
Aw.
Literally, like,
Your kryptonite.
I had 3 black apron challenges. The first one, I almost went home. Second one, if there was a winner, it would have been me or one other person. The third one, I got sent home on.
Wow.
So it's like, boop, boop.
Yeah,
boop.
I'm really bummed that that's not a part of this. But it's okay. New challenges. I got it. It's wild that they just straight up send us home at the end of a team challenge.
You're telling me that was like,
Yeah, like holy shit. Who are the judges on season 10?
same ones as season 12. So
Oh,
all familiar faces for me.
It was all new. That was my first time for cooking for Joe.
Oh, wait. Oh,
'Cause we had
Aaron?
Or Joe and Aaron.
Yeah, because you had Christina and then
Graham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And there's so many of you guys from season 6 back too.
There was a lot of us.
Yeah, there were like 6 of you. I mean, season 10 had like 7 of us, but I was just like, why is it our seasons that are overrepresented?
But we had the most of a season to get aprons.
That's true. You guys had
Yeah.
5, which I was like, shit.
Yeah.
The only person who didn't was poor Olivia, who me and Brie knocked out.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Olivia is my homie.
She's so funny.
It's funny because Olivia and I got along so great on season 6,
Mhm.
and then the season ended. We didn't really talk, and then it was about to air, and we were talking about doing a party,
Yeah.
a finale, like a air party, not a finale, an air party together, and then we didn't talk again until the pool party.
Oh, wait, what the? That's like 4 years.
I know. And we picked up at the pool party like we've been friends the whole freaking time.
Jesus. Okay.
And then we didn't talk from the pool party until
Back to Win?
And we were getting coffee every morning, dishing drama down in the courtyard. We
Yeah.
like walked out of the hotel because we were
Yeah.
like, they have it fucking mic'd. Like we went outside the hotel and we were dishing all the drama every morning. And then I haven't talked to her since. That's like her and I's friendship. Like when we are together, we're best friends. And then when
You guys aren't, then it's just
like
strangers.
whatever. Yeah, we're strangers. Not caring about winning. So you have no strategy going into Back to Win?
My strategy was just to show the growth as a person between
Yeah.
seasons 10 and 12. I felt like in season 10, I had a lot of stage fright where I just was like, none of this is normal. I don't understand what's going on.
Right.
So like I had a hell of a lot of anxiety and like stage fright in season 10. So I was like, okay, well, season 12, I just want to show that, I have matured over the last 3 years. I'm not as nervous. Still nervous, but not as nervous as I was in season 10.
Yeah.
And, just to show like the evolution in my pastry skills, that was really all I came back to do. Because I felt like if I went into it and was like, I'm going to win this, it's going to be mine. Like if I got anything less than that, it might be disappointing. So
Yeah.
I was like, if I set like super low expectations for this and I'm going to hang out with Brie for a month and like catch up and then just cook food, then it would be a lot more enjoyable that way.
Season 10, did you have a favorite challenge?
Let's see here. Okay, well, I mean, I'm hella biased about this. So we had a king crab challenge where we had to cook like a $500 Alaskan king crab for Morimoto.
I wish.
Oh yeah, that one was funny because at that point I did win a lot of challenges, but they're all either team ones or like skills based ones that had nothing to do with actual like plating up food or cooking food. So that was my first challenge where like I actually got to cook my own food without like any super crazy parameters that would have messed me up. I was just cook whatever you want, just using this one ingredient. I'm like, perfect. I don't suck at that. So then I made a dish and then I ended up winning that one.
What did you make?
So I did a take on lanterns using homemade pasta dough. I did like ravioli, shaped them like lanterns. I said it was inspired by like the Lantern Festival in Taiwan. There was a broth that was made with the king crab that was poured into it. The filling was ironically similar to Emily from Back to Win's audition dish. I did creme fraiche and king crab meat. And then I did like pickled fennel and braised fennel and a fennel crab broth. And then they cut this out, but I made the judges pray with me on this because in Taiwan, the Lantern Festival, you write a prayer on the lantern before you set it afloat. Yeah, so I was like, we're going to set it the lanterns afloat with water, with the broth, but in this case, you want to put in a prayer before you do it. So then I made them do that. They cut it out probably because it's like
too much time.
Yeah,
that's so smart. I love that you approach every dish with a full story.
I felt like with the challenges where I had time to just sit down and really think it through, I was like, I'm just going to go for it. So that one, first time I burned the top anything for any like challenge at that point, and then I ended up winning that one. I was like, how did the baker boy win a king crab challenge?
Right.
Yeah.
Fate loves irony. They like to do that a lot on these shows. I feel like it's a theme in all of them that the whoever's like that wins like the opposite thing that they do.
Exactly.
And like that could never happen with me because I like to show that I'm versatile in everything and my thing is about plating. And which is funny because I had to check JC the other day. He hit us up about some endorsement that they want us to do.
Like the equipment stuff, right?
Yeah. And I was like, I'll take just the plates. And he goes, well, that's kind of like Bree's thing too, because she's the plating queen. And I was like, JC, I was like, I can plate too. I was like, what? I was like, what kind of comment? I checked him. I was like, bro, just because my Instagram handle isn't plating queen.
Plating drummer.
Yeah, the plating drummer. When you come off the show, I know I did a lot of pop-ups. Did you do any pop-ups or are you selling any baked goods? Like, what are you doing with this spotlight?
Well, season 10, me and Bree did like a series of pop-ups together.
You did?
Yeah, we did do like some between like LA and Dallas. We had one in OUE Sky Space, which was really fun.
Where's that?
The US Bank building in downtown LA, like the really tall tower with the glass slide. Yeah, so we did our first pop-up there. I was like, holy shit, we actually pulled this off.
How the fuck did you get that?
Let's just say the networking thing from college. So I had a friend whose family owns the building. Just casually. I was like, wait, what? Because I remember this. I was stressed.
Have you eaten at 71 Above?
Actually, I haven't. I had a friend who was a chef there. I want to, though. But yeah, so she hooked it up for us. And I was like, this is actually happening. And then Bree's like, this is actually happening. I was like,
wild.
So we did that.
How many people?
We did a really small seating, just like 18 people, because it was like just the two of us. And the kitchen setting was kind of weird for that one, because they wouldn't let us use the commercial kitchen. So we had to bring induction burners. So we're like, okay, well, we'll just limit it to this and be chill with it. So we did that. We did one pop-up in in Dallas at like a speakeasy or a restaurant called Felix Cupola.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's literally right by my place in Dallas.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Like we did one there. So we did one there for like 50 people. Then we did a series of them for Chinese New Year's back in downtown LA. And then we did like an event with Museum of Dream Space in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
So they reached out to me randomly. They're like, do you want to sell like desserts and stuff for like our Valentine's Day event? They didn't tell us it was an LGBTQ one, which was funny. I mean, it didn't matter because Bree's little sister's lesbian, I'm gay. So like it didn't matter. But it was just funny because like we see like all these like drag queens walking in and we're like, wait, what? And like all these same-sex couples. I was like, damn it, we're dressed too conservatively.
Wow.
Because like we were dressed like...
So Bree was the only straight person there?
Basically, yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, so that was like really great. And then we were planning another one in Dallas and then the pandemic happened. But yeah, since then, like I was doing like a lot of like online demos with friends. So like Sherry from my season, I did one with Bree. I did launch an ebook for donuts like 2 years ago, and I donated all the proceeds to the It Gets Better Foundation, which is like a foundation targeting like youths in the closet and like, you know, letting them know it gets better.
It does get better.
Yeah, so I donated half the proceeds to them and the other half to the Black Lives Matter network, so that way we can help make the world a less hate-filled place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what else have I done? Lots of like random cake orders here and there where people were just like, hey, I live in like this city and it's like 2 miles from you. Can you like make me a cake? And I'm like, here's the price. And they're like, okay. So I've been doing a lot of that, but
what does a Fred cake cost?
Actually not that bad. $60 for like a 3-layer 6-inch cake. That feeds like about 8 people. So
Fred, raise your prices.
That's what everyone says, but I'm like, okay, but if I do, then they won't buy from me again.
Bullshit. They'll buy from you more.
Fair enough. But yeah, like, I mean,
here's the thing. This is what people do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my experience. This is my advice from experience. When you raise your prices, when you have a good product,
mm-hmm.
and it increases the value to the consumer. So like the person that's buying it values it even more.
Mm-hmm.
They want it either way.
Yeah.
If they like your product, they're going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to put the value on it that it deserves.
Yeah. I mean, the one time I did price, I felt like market appropriate was for a wedding cake because it was for 30 people. So that one I did sell for $300 and I was like, okay.
You should have sold it for $3,000.
Oh my God. I feel like if I charge those prices, I don't know. I mean,
you could.
I get it. I do. I mean, I know that I underpriced it. It's just like, I guess my pricing model was based off of milk bars too, was my issue. Cause that's literally how much a milk bar cake costs, is $60.
But that's cause she's
mass producing. And at vanilla or chocolate vanilla. So
right. But also like she has stores. She can like, it's different.
No, I know. It's like a commissary situation.
Yeah. Dude, my cookie right there, I sell for $30.
I mean, to be fair, it's gigantic.
It is gigantic. And there's a lot of work that goes into it. And the box is amazing. And it's a whole experience. I'm selling an experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not $30 because I want to rip people off. It's $30 because that's what it's worth.
Yeah.
And I get it. And I mean, I get orders every day and I ship them around the country.
Mm-hmm.
Your cake is worth more than $60.
Thank you. I mean, I definitely...
Your everyday cake should be $300 and your wedding cake should be $3,000.
Thank you.
Go price that and you'll see.
Because
here's the other thing to look at it. If you sell 10 cakes a month at $30 or 1 cake a month at $300,
yeah,
you're making the same amount.
That is very true.
And you're doing less work.
That is also very true. I mean, yeah, I definitely need to revise that pricing model. It's just...
I just gave it to you.
Yeah,
it's revised.
Thank you.
It's revised. Hey everyone, Fred's new cake prices are $300 a cake and $3,000 for a wedding cake. And you're going to love his wedding cake because it's going to make your wedding much more memorable than the bride or groom's speech. Before you tried out for MasterChef, was there any other shows that you tried out for?
Similar to you, I did like put in a submission for Chopped because like you, I am also like a huge fan of it. I watched like so many episodes. I think at one point I actually like downloaded the actual episode files to my computer so I could just stream them in like whenever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, never heard back from them either. And I was like, well,
that's a tough office to crack.
Yeah, no, like they literally just didn't care. And I was like, okay, well.
Which is surprising because they go through way more contestants.
Yeah, I know. You'd think because they have such a huge net, they'd still eventually scoop you up. But no, they never did with me. And then.
Hey, Chopped, Fred and I want to be on. Maybe the same time.
Oh, God. I'll just like casually leave basket ingredients off. You can have that.
No, come on. It would be fun. We should do that on it. We should do that. We should do an Instagram video where we do a Chop style mystery basket.
Oh my God. I mean, off camera again, but I will tell. What was it?
We're on.
I joked around with Dara that we should make a mystery box with all the ingredients Katura used for her dish that she.
Shade. See, you are the bitchy one.
I can be bitchy. I'm only bitchy when I'm talking about a bitch, which. Okay. I don't know. Katura
What was she thinking?
She's a special one. That's what I'll say. Like season 10, we were friends. Then between season 10 and Back to Win, she kind of like went off the deep end.
Oh, this reminded me of my question. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, she just went off the deep end, started going off on everybody. And like, she just kept attacking me. And I was like, dude, I'm a grown ass adult. I don't have time for you to continuously be like, you're like insolent, whatever. Like, I was just like, okay, well then fuck you too.
She was
on several things or needed to be on several things, as Brandy would put it.
She was a special one.
Yeah, so I mean, her dish was bizarre. Let's make sure to include in that mystery box watermelons and mangoes.
Did she put what?
No, she wanted to, but they didn't have it or something like that.
In her back to win?
Yeah.
What was her dish?
So it was rice noodles with an uni coconut sauce, caviar, peppers, trout roe. There were shrimp that Dara and I to this day still discuss how she cooked it because we don't know.
Yo, I lost it on her immediately because she was in the hotel, a door caddy corner from me. So we would always have to wait in the hotel to be let into our rooms.
Yeah.
So we would talk there, and she was just talking like she was the best. And then it was time for her to go compete. She dropped her rice noodles in first. It was
42 minutes to go. Yes,
first thing she did.
27 minutes cooking. I kept track of it. I was like, how long have they been in there for?
Okay, you were doing the same thing I was. I was sitting next to Michael, and I was like, Michael, she just dropped her rice noodles.
With like no. 2 minutes to go.
He's like, no. I was like, yeah, we're only 2 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no way. And yeah, she cooked them for 27 minutes.
Yep. Like Dara and I were like trying to figure out what was going on at the station. It was really funny.
How was Micah on your season?
He was I mean, he was nice to me.
He's a lovely human.
Well, he was nice to me as the like easiest way to put it in terms of my interactions with him. Not nice to other people. He has one of my friends is Sherry, and he was not so kind to her. Very unkind, actually, to the point where I was like, Sherry, just block him if he's going to talk to you that way.
His Instagram got hacked.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He hasn't gotten it back yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. He messaged me his hacker messaged me and was like,
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I was like, no, like
that's a huge scam going around right now, and it's getting everybody.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's happening. It's frightening because I'm like, any day now, my Instagram
you're gonna get
hacked.
Yeah, like you'll get like a weird URL, you click it, and then bye Instagram.
Bye Instagram.
Yeah, so I don't know.
He hasn't gotten it back yet. I feel bad because he has a lot of followers.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he was a nice guy. To a lot of my friends, not so nice. He said one really fucked up thing to Bree, and Bree was like, what the actual hell? I've never said anything mean to you.
What did he say to Bree?
So Bree plated a dish like a lobster.
Like the sweetest
person
ever.
She's like super non-problematic. So she plated like a lobster bisque dish with like with a bread cracker on it, like a rectangular like wheel. And then he like threw shade at her on Twitter that same day and was like, I hate how people are putting baby vomit soup with like saltine crackers on the plate or whatever. So she called him out on it.
He wrote that?
He wrote that. She sent us
as a comment?
Well, no, on his Twitter. He tweeted that.
Oh.
But then she saw it and was like, what the actual fuck? Like, we were friends. Like, I never said one bad thing to you. So he did that to her, which I was like, yeah. So I mean, to me, he was docile, but I know that he has had his drama with some people from my season.
Yeah. I had to sit next to him during the whole battle for our aprons.
Oh yeah.
He just kept yelling out the same thing over and over, and I was like, dude, just say something else.
Yeah.
Yell out something else, anything, just not that. Like, it was so annoying.
I mean,
I want to talk to him though.
He's definitely got like a lot of interesting perspectives.
Yeah. I wrote down music. I don't know. What kind of music are you into?
Oh my God, I'm such a weeb. Was it?
What you're such a what?
Weeb, like anime nerd. I grew up like literally watching so much anime and J-pop. So like lots of J-pop, EDM, old school Zed. I don't really like everything after Find You. I didn't really care for like his song Find You.
Yeah.
But then everything before that I like still adore. Calvin Harris until summer. Up until summer. Everything after summer I was just like, I don't care for either.
Yeah.
I listened to like a group called Mystery Schools. They focus on like really disco-y, like a little bit electric. One of my favorite artists, well, two of my favorite American artists, Dua Lipa. I loved her until what was the song that I liked her until Levitating. Like Levitating was the last song of hers that I was like, this is a bop. Okay. And then I love Lizzo. More so as a person though, not just even her music's great, but I just love Lizzo's energy and her vibe. I like say this all the time, but if I ever have like a live action reenactment of my life as a movie,
you want Lizzo to play
she's gonna have to play me, but she has to play me at all ages. So when I'm born, it's gonna be Lizzo in a diaper on my mom's lap, like crying like a baby. If Lizzo, you're hearing this, let's get drinks.
My God.
Yeah, like I have a weirdly unhealthy obsession with Lizzo. I love her.
Okay. You're down in like, are you still in Torrance?
Like
South?
Torrance Redondo Beach, yeah, like South Bay.
Yeah. What are some of your spots down there? What do you like to go eat down there?
Favorite ice cream spot is called Concha Creamery in Gardena.
Just starts with ice cream.
Of course. It's a priority. Ice cream.
Do you go to ice cream and then dinner?
Yes, and then ice cream afterwards again. Ice cream sandwich.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. I cut you off. What's the place?
Concha Creamery. So it's like a Japanese ice cream store, family owned. They donate like I believe 1% of the proceeds every single day to I want to say it's St. Jude's. So like you're giving to charity while getting ice cream. It's really good quality ice cream. They have like lots of fun flavors. My favorite one is their Mr. Universal, which has like oat cookies in it. So it's like crunchy, it's like creamy, it's sweet. They also have really good Japanese style parfaits, which is just like ice cream with like jellies and like cornflakes and red bean paste and mochi.
I love red bean paste.
Yeah, like I highly recommend that place.
If anyone listening, if you haven't had like a Thai dessert with red bean paste, like you got to try it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's so good.
It is really good. And it's so fun to make too.
That's what I love about California.
The diversity.
It's just the diversity. Like you can really, like if you want to try it, it's here. You don't have to travel far.
Exactly. Like you can literally go like 5 minutes away and you can find basically any cuisine within a 5-mile radius.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what else is there off the top of my head. Primo Italiano is pretty good for Italian food for the South Bay. It's like they have homemade pastas, like lots of like very traditional pasta shapes too. Like not even just your basic raviolo. Like they have like the pasta, like the stamped circular sheet pastas that aren't like ravioli. So they have like a lot, like they use like ramps and stuff like that too. So very seasonal. I really like that place a lot. I'm trying to think what else is like even somewhat worth going to.
What about date night? Like if you were to go out on a date, where would you go?
I'd say Primo Italiano for like a nice date. If you want more of a casual vibe, oh my God, like the grimy like stoner type food that I eat. There's a place called Albertita's. I think they renamed it, but if you type in Albertita's Gardena into like Google Maps, they'll take you there regardless. It's like the drive-through Mexican place with carne asada fries. Like I know, right? I am like that's my date night.
You're gonna have straight men dating you. They're gonna be like, "Yo, we can go with Fred. He's gonna take us. We're gonna go drive through Mexican and carne asada fries. Done."
Hey, if you can't like get down with that, then don't even like. We have no future together.
Facts. Are you dating anyone right now?
Yeah, I do have a boyfriend.
Oh,
yeah, it was the funniest thing. So we met.
I think you told me right before MasterChef. Do tell. Share the story.
So Friday of that same week was when I left for filming for season 12. Monday was when I had my first date with him.
Aww.
I had date number 1 with him.
Did he take you to carne asada fries?
No, I think we ate pizza.
Okay.
Which I'm still fine with. I love pizza too. So we like had first date on that Monday, second date on Wednesday. Funny thing was I tried to lie to him about where I was going. Because like I didn't know. I was like, I don't know how serious this is gonna be. So I was like, yeah, I'm doing like task force for hotels in NorCal, so I'll be away. So I just said that, and then like I couldn't keep up with my own lies because I just suck at lying. So eventually, I think we're scrolling through like some old photos on my phone, and I had like the video of my audition on there, and the thumbnail was Gordon Ramsay's face, and he was like, "Is that Gordon Ramsay?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Hold on." So he clicked into it, and then
he didn't know.
He didn't know.
Oh my god!
He didn't even know about season 10, so that's the funniest part.
Wow.
So
well, at least he liked you before he knew you could cook, right?
Yeah, he didn't really care about that when he like talked with me. We had what was it? Because all the video game weeb stuff, that's like what he liked about me. So yeah. So we were talking through all of season 12. I didn't give him any spoilers or anything like that. He was just like, how are you doing? Is like today a good day or not a good day? And I'd just be like, yeah, we can talk for a bit, or nah, I'm not feeling like talking at all. But yeah, so like we kept talking throughout the entirety of filming season 12. We kept talking after season 12, and 3 days ago, I think, was our 7-month anniversary. So we've been talking for a long time.
7 months.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What a way to start a relationship, right?
Yeah, that's a hard one. Like that's why I'm kind of at a loss right now, because I'm like thinking about trying to start a relationship during filming something that's like so big, so important. Like I can't even imagine.
I didn't even think that it was going to become a relationship, honestly. Like,
how'd you guys meet?
Like Tinder.
On Tinder.
Like just dating apps, yeah. Like we just matched, we talked. After the first date, we had like really, really good personal chemistry. Emotionally, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to be in a relationship right now because of what's going to happen. You know, I wasn't that stressed because it just ended up working out and it was really nice.
Yeah. Amazing. What's he do?
Oh, this is always a fun conversation.
Oh!
So he is a drug analyst for the government. So basically, like the police would give him like samples and then he has to analyze it to see if there's like cocaine or meth or any of that on it. So sometimes I'd be like, how's work? And he'd be like, I just did a lot of cocaine. I'm like, oh, that's right, your job.
Oh my gosh. So he analyzed it, but he doesn't touch it.
He doesn't touch. He hates it. Like one time it got on, like the meth got on his skin and he flipped his shit. So
I mean, could you imagine he has to like go, he has to work and then go catch a flight and accidentally have like drugs on him, and a drug dog like goes crazy.
Exactly. That's his biggest fear. Ironically, his dad's a pilot, so he does travel a lot.
Oh
so
my gosh.
He's like, yeah, he hates drugs like crazy. He also hates coconut oil because apparently one time someone melted cocaine into coconut oil and it was like 5 tubs of it. And you can't.
And he had to analyze it.
Yeah, he had to separate the meth from coconut oil, which apparently is really hard to do. I wouldn't know how that works, but he was like, yeah, I had the smell of coconut oil in my nostrils for like 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, no, that would do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to touch coconut oil after that either.
Again, 10 episodes into this podcast, separating meth from coconut oil.
Coke
from coconut oil.
Or was it?
Days.
Yeah, I think it was Coke.
So does he? So you get to fly free with him now?
Well, sometimes, but like I try not to take advantage, obviously. Like, but he does travel. Well, he does travel like very spontaneously because like his family.
Yeah. When he found out that you can cook like you do you cook for him a lot now?
I baked for him after I think like our 7th or 8th date. I was like, I'm not gonna put this out right away because I feel like in the past when I was dating people, that was the first thing that would happen, and they're like, well, we got what we wanted. We don't give a shit about you. Bye. Also, by the way, the gay dating scene in like LA proper.
Tell me, what's it like?
Oh, so shallow, so superficial. It's just like you talk to them for 1 second and then somehow they think that they're just too good for you or they're hot shit. So then they ghost you. Yeah, it's like that a lot with a lot of like what I call the city gays.
Well, girls ghost guys all the time the same way.
Yeah, but it's like I'm talking to you for 2 months and then you suddenly just like
ghost.
Yeah,
just ghost.
I'm just like, yeah, like just like I'm not feeling this anymore. Bye. Like at least I could work with that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like really weird, and also yeah, like dating in LA was really tricky because of that. But luckily, like my current boyfriend, he lives in the suburbs as well. Well, sort of. He lives in Long Beach. I count that as the suburbs.
You guys are you guys talking about living together at all?
I mean, we've been dating for 7 months, so not really yet. But like the fact that we've had a relationship for this long and nothing bad's happened yet is it's a good sign.
What do you mean yet?
Okay, bad things happen eventually. It's just a matter of like, you know, if like we can overcome whatever comes to head. But yeah, it's been like very fun. A nice 7 months.
Amazing. I wanted to quiz you on like MasterChef things, but I don't. I was like, I don't even know what to ask.
Okay, I mean, spitball.
Runner up season 3.
Oh, he died. Josh Marks. You chose the one runner up who died.
This is why I knew I shouldn't have played this game.
Oh my god! Literally, I was talking. Rest in peace.
He probably knows the color shirt he was wearing too. God. Well,
try something that's not season 3 related.
I'm scared.
No, that was like literally just the worst possible one, I think. No one else died.
Runner up season 1.
Season 1, David Miller. I only remember this though because what was it? His last name was the same as Whitney's last name, so I was like, this is funny. They're both Millers.
9th place, season 5.
Daniel McGuffey.
I know.
Does someone want to Wikipedia this and like confirm? Yeah,
You got that?
What was it?
Daniel McGuffey, season 5, 9th place.
9th place, season 5. I'll ask the next question. What dish did he go out with?
Okay, so he had a head-to-head souffle cook-off, cheese souffle against Jamie Vitolo, who was on Back to Win, and she sent him home.
Dude,
Super fan.
Your MasterChef knowledge is that okay.
I need to replace this knowledge with something else that's actually more useful.
Right now, it's coming in handy. Okay, let's go. Let's make it a little tricky. 11th place, season 7.
Okay, well, hold on. Actually, that's Andrea, who was also on Back to Win. Wait, are we going to just fact check things right now?
Yeah, I got 9th place. Right, 9th place on season
5?
Season 5 was Iran and Victoria.
Daniel was 8th. Daniel was 8th.
It was 8th.
Damn it. That was a trick question because Iran and Victoria got sent home together.
Okay.
Dang it.
Okay.
I should have known that too, though.
11th place. What did I ask?
11th place, season 7.
Season 7.
That should be Andrea. Yeah.
Andrea.
Yay. Okay.
Nice.
I didn't screw that one up.
Unbelievable. Okay, let's ask some.
Trust me, Sean, when he first met me, was quizzing me in front of all the other winners. I think I creeped Whitney out because he was like, "What dessert did Whitney make for her finale?" And she was like, "Oh, it was too long ago." And I said it, and she's like, "God, you remember?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Wow.
you were one of my favorites before Christine."
What was my audition for season 6?
It was a lamb dish. I remember that, but I don't remember exactly because your dish and the other guy's dish. I remember one had pistachio in it, but I can't
That was
remember.
mine.
Okay, that was yours. Okay, I remember that, and Amanda and the other girl made koftas. I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, now we're gonna play a real game.
Okay.
We're gonna test your palate.
Oh God, am I going to be blindfolded?
Yep.
Yay!
Why is everyone so excited about being blindfolded on this podcast?
I don't know. Wait, really?
Yeah, for real.
Shit.
So we're gonna pause. Here's your blindfold,
Perfect. Okay.
and then throw the headphones back on.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna move my mic. Okay, so Fred,
Mm-hmm.
because you are so sophisticated
Oh God.
with your ingredients, I'm giving you the hardest taste test I've done yet.
Shoo. Okay.
So take that as a compliment.
Thank you. Watch me screw up on all of them.
No, there's some that I feel that you're guaranteed are going to get,
hmm
but if you don't, that's a different story. But
Well, we'll see. Oh wait. Oh.
so this is how this is gonna work.
Okay.
I'm going to feed you. Your boyfriend's gonna be so jealous, right?
I know. Ryan, if you're watching this, I'm not cheating on you.
It's not cheating.
He's straight. I'm not into. And taken. We're both taken.
We're both taken. Although there's been a lot of gay men that have tried to convert me.
Oh gosh. Okay. I don't straight chase. That's just so much
There's a
work.
term for it.
There is a term for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Straight chasers are just wasting their damn time. If a man says he's straight, he's straight.
Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, at least for that. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's not, but don't. Yeah. Like, let's
Here
not
we
pursue
go.
that.
Let's start the game. Okay, this is the first one. When I say open, you'll open and then
Mhm.
I'll feed you. Okay?
Okay.
Open.
Carrots?
Done.
Nice.
Okay.
We just had a next level chef not get that one.
Wait, where's my water?
Uh,
Oh, here.
There you go.
Okay.
all right. I gave you an easy one first.
Thank you. Were they normal carrots or were they rainbow carrots?
No, they were normal.
Oh, okay.
You can't taste color.
I was hoping I could, but then I was like, eh. I was like, is it purple? I feel
I
like
should have done rainbow carrots.
I was like, I have a purple
Missed
vibe.
opportunity.
But it wasn't.
okay. This one's going to be tough, and I'm going to give you a small amount because it's very powerful.
Oh, God. Is it wasabi?
No. I'm not trying to do that to you. Okay, open up. just feel like he's gonna get every one of these.
Hmm.
We're testing that chef palate.
Okay, it's like tastes really citrusy. I don't think it's. Is
We're
it?
also chewing a lot for something that is in a puree form.
I don't know. Like I'm trying to like get the texture of it. It's very fibrous and it's like kind of oily and kind of citrusy.
You should have it with that.
Is it not lemongrass?
Boom!
Okay.
Wow!
I wasn't sure because I was like, it smells like lemongrass, but like I feel like the texture of it. Well, not the texture, but like it was like a little bit fattier or oilier.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean it's in puree form.
Got it.
Okay, this one's gonna be tough.
Oh god. Okay.
Maybe you'll get it.
I don't know anymore.
There's been a little alteration to this ingredient. 'Cause
Okay.
You can't really eat it raw.
Oh.
Okay.
If it's a protein, I'm probably screwed.
No, it's not a protein.
Okay.
Ready? Open.
Hmm.
I love how he's like so studious about this. Like, there's no like Dara would lose her shit everything I put in her mouth.
Really?
Yeah, it was funny.
Okay. It's bitter. It's a little slimy. I almost want to say it's okra seeds.
So close, but I'll give you one more guess.
Oh. Huh. Can I get another spoonful?
Of course.
Sorry. Close to okra seeds, but not. Oh, I guess. Yeah, it's more bitter than okra seeds are.
Open.
Mm,
I'm impressed that you're even like that close, but
hmm.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. It's not mustard seeds.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Really? It's not that strong though. Like. Oh.
I pickled them.
Okay, that's why. I was like, there's no fire to it, so okay.
Amazing, dude.
Wow.
You have a fucking palate.
I don't know about that. I think I got lucky.
No. All right, this next one. Let's just see.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say it. You're so sophisticated.
I don't know about that. I feel
Here we
like I
go.
got lucky.
Open up. Oh shit.
Oh. Okay. I knew that was gonna happen. I know the mic is like right here in front of me.
It was
but
my fault. I bumped it. Okay.
no worries. I can't even tell what's going on right now.
Open up.
Okay, it tastes like a candied yam, but it could be a carrot. Wait, no, it's not, definitely not a carrot. We already had carrot. Is that not a yam?
No.
Huh. Plantain? Banana?
Quince paste.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Ah, we stumped him on one. Okay, last one.
Okay, let me just.
Get a sip. Mm. You have 3 seconds.
Okay. I'm like afraid now if it's like wasabi or something.
Okay, open up. 3, 2.
Miso?
Wow.
Whoa. It's his favorite ingredient.
It is. I like use it in everything.
I wanted to test and make sure it was your favorite. Great job. Remove the blindfold.
Thank you.
Woo!
Oh my god.
I gave you the hardest stuff and you did the best out of anyone yet.
Really?
Yes.
Well, wait, how did Dara do? I feel like Dara would have crushed it.
She did really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't give her as hard of ingredients.
I mean, the mustard seeds definitely threw me off at first. I was like,
But like I didn't give Dara like lemongrass. Like that was a tough one and you got it.
well, thank you. I mean, well, that was fun.
Speaking of miso paste, you love working with miso.
Oh yeah.
Your audition for season 10
Yep.
with that miso chocolate cake. I was so nervous when that came out.
Really?
Like watching it because you like pull it out and it's just like this blob of chocolate. And I was like, oh no.
Oh my god. Yeah, Gordon literally said it looked like dog doo-doo, and I was like,
They didn't air that.
well, they aired something to that effect, but I was like,
Yeah.
awkward. But yeah, I mean, what was it? So like I used to work at a Japanese restaurant or Pan-Asian restaurant in Century City. And one of their signature desserts was like this miso butterscotch togarashi mochi, which sounds absolutely
Fucking
weird.
amazing.
At least you think it's amazing. Some people are like, that sounds nasty. And I'm like, no, it was the most mind-blowing dessert I've ever had. So I knew that like by combining miso with caramel notes, like burnt white chocolate in this case, that it would pair well together and be like a really tasty sort of salted caramel situation. And I know that miso would pair well with chocolate too, because the earthiness of miso brings out the like fruity notes in the cacao.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I was keen to the whole like the miso in the dessert kind of movement, like just being here in LA and like seeing all that happen. So like, but like America doesn't like know that like that. Like you were smart with that, and the miso caramel.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert. I won't say when, but yeah, really smart move. I love it.
The miso caramel is a complete accident. Without getting into it too much, I was just gonna go with like smoked Maldon salt to finish the caramel off with initially, but then my first batch it crystallized. So I was like, shoot, what do I do? So I went to grab more sugar in the pantry, and then I was like, okay, smoked Maldon salt's cool and all, but I need to do something else. So that's when I was like, just grab miso paste and throw miso paste in there.
Hold on. So your caramel crystallized.
Yeah.
And you smoothed it out with miso paste?
No, I had to dump it out and restart the whole thing. And I didn't have enough sugar too, so I had to grab more sugar from the pantry.
Got it.
So during that run to the pantry, I was like, okay, smoked Maldon salt's just too boring, so let's grab something else too.
Something else. And you're like, I love miso.
Yeah.
Without going too far into the back to win season, because we don't want to give away
things.
You winning or not. Or me winning or not.
Someone wins.
Someone wins.
Someone was back to win.
We have covered it. Yeah, I think we got it all. I'm really happy that you drove up, shared your story. I wasn't ready to get that emotional today. I think that's huge for people out there that, you know, are in a similar situation or can relate or know somebody. Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time because, like, you know, being on these reality shows, we get 15 minutes to tell that story and they chop it all up. And
sometimes they don't even air it.
Sometimes they don't air
Literally
it.
everything I told you today, actually, they cut from season 10.
Yeah, so I'm glad you got to come share it. That it makes, you know, it gives me such a different perspective. And that's also kind of why I got emotional because, like, I was thinking about being on the show with you and knowing, like, what you were fighting for and where you were coming from. I didn't know that part of you. And so now knowing that was like a whole thing of emotion just coming back, like sharing that stage with you in that kitchen. I just felt, I don't know, I felt a new connection with you. So I'm glad we got to do this. Thank you.
Same, of course.
And anytime you want to come chat again, let me know. We'll keep this going. I want this podcast to be the podcast that all reality competition people come and make part of their journey. So, yeah.
I mean, you should definitely have like me and Dar back together at one point just because we can probably tell you some fun shenanigans that the two of us will. Yeah.
I want to have you and Dara. I need to have Bree.
Yes.
And then I want to have you and Bree at the same time.
Oh my God. Me and Bree would be a riot.
I would probably just sit here and you guys would just talk.
We just feel like goofing off about the silliest things. I mean, Bree's full of so many random surprises. Like,
really?
She has an obsession with the Amish. I don't know if she told you about this. Like, she loves Amish culture. Yeah, no, my reaction to it, I was like, what the fuck, Bree? Yeah, so she loves Amish culture. She visits like the Amish village off of Dallas like once a summer. And she's like, I just love that they make their butter from scratch. I'm like, that's why you like it. You don't look like an Amish person. You don't.
There's so many things to unpack there, but she does it for the butter.
Yeah, she does it for the butter. And then what else was there that was like, oh, she's fluent in Spanish, like hecka fluent. One time we were in an Uber and she just spoke in fluent Spanish to our driver. I was like, where did that come from?
Wow. I mean, that's cool. I mean, man, if I would have like focused all the time on learning Spanish instead of doom scrolling, I'd be fluent too. That's awesome. Yeah, we're going to get you guys on.
Yes.
Fred, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I mean, it was really great to talk to you again and like connect with you and, you know, build a rapport outside of that environment because I feel like that bubble is just
It's hard.
like there's a lot that can go wrong. There's a lot that's different. The environment is just not us being regular. It's us on edge or us uncertain.
Under the most pressure.
Exactly. So being able to like actually interact with contestants outside of that environment, I feel like it's a lot more fun and it's a lot more personable for sure.
Yeah. You talk a lot more. You were so quiet on the show, at least around me. It was like, I knew that you had a story. I just didn't know it was that. And I'm really glad that I got it out of you.
Well, I mean, I'm glad to share it. It's for me, it's just knowing that people out there who are going through those struggles can hear this and know that it does get better and that all you have to do is just keep pushing until that point. Then that's a win for me.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
Oh, and also, I also brought this for you.
Oh, we're trading cookies.
Yes, we are trading cookies. It's not an epic mega cookie like yours is, but
I bet you the flavor's epic.
Well,
what is it?
So I did a dark chocolate cookie with Manjari 64% and Dulce 33%. So 2 different kinds of chocolate. There's one that's dark chocolate with fruitier notes, and then there's blonde chocolate, which is roasted white chocolate. And then I made my own sourdough starter, and I used that in place of eggs in the batter or in the dough, just to give it more of like a loft.
My God. Yo, come do this with me as an epic mega cookie.
Sure. I'll give
Sure. No, we have to. We need to make. Oh my God, it smells amazing. I'm eating this right now. I'm not waiting.
They were made this morning.
That was so good.
Oh,
don't worry, guys. I'm going to share it with you.
I didn't know you had a whole crew, or else I would have brought more.
Fuck, that's good.
Oh, thank you.
I dig it. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Fred from MasterChef Season 10 and MasterChef Back to Win.
Back to win.
Tune in. It's a wild ride.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to A Bunch of Losers with me, Derrick Fox. Please comment below if you guys have questions for any of these guests. I'm sure they would love to answer, and I'll answer as well. So let me know below. Also, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, and then also make sure you're following us on Instagram, A Bunch of Losers with Derrick Fox, so you get the update on the new episodes. We will be launching them weekly. All right, thanks, losers. Action.